Hello fellow commanders, this is Rusty Dog, and the reason I'm sat here is I've just been interdicted by a Diamondback scout. So anyway, pieces of him are now floating around the system, and he can go to hell. So why are we here? Well, I'm here in the fer-de-lance at system LHS 142, just sitting on the doorstep of a hazardous res. I've upgraded something on my fer-de-lance after visiting Brew Tarquin. I can't really show you it here, unfortunately. We'll have to wait until we dock. You won't see it here. It's the same as it used to be. But the pulse lasers are different because in 2.2 beta we now have grade 5 pulse lasers. So I have upgraded these to grade 5. They don't quite make the beam laser redundant yet, but they're pushing on up there. Well, I say that. They've probably got about 2/3 of the beam laser's damage per second. But you can probably fire them for longer. I can fire these for about 8 seconds. When I did the first upgrade, I did spend quite a bit of fish to do this. But once I got them all upgraded, I did a test outside the engineer's base. And with full firing, plus the multi-cannon, plus thrust, it was going over 100% and crackling up my modules. So I came back and I changed them. You can't really show much here, can you? I changed them and tried to get... I sacrificed a bit of damage in order to get better thermal. And it kind of worked because now I can boost, fire the multi-cannons and fire the lasers, and it doesn't go over 100%. So I still do get temperature warnings when it goes above 80, but it never goes above 100, at least it hasn't done so far. And so we're good. So I did make a video yesterday, spent about 3 hours. The video wasn't 3 hours, but you know, stopping and starting. But I just deleted it all because I couldn't be bothered. And I went through the rigmarole of throwing the dice and doing the upgrades, and I thought, yeah, not gonna show all that. So yeah, grade 5 pulses. So let's take a quick look at them in action. They're okay. And then it's just me that's not okay. The ship and the weapons are better than me as a pilot. So we'll take a quick look and then we'll move on to the next thing. So let's 2-1.
Ready to engage.
Full power. No? Full power. Really? Maximum power. 100%?
100% engaged.
So I've got the voice pack on the go because I've not used that in combat for a while, and I like it for quick pip management. 75%.
Okay, 75% readying now.
Disengage.
Disengaging jump.
Deploy weapons.
Weapons hot.
Now, I was wanted in this system earlier because I did my usual thing of firing on a clean ship, but that was during a demo video that I was doing for other purposes. This is, again, this, I've noticed there's a lot of wings now. I noticed a wing of, like, I think it was an anaconda winged with 2 pythons or something. It was ridiculous. It's not something you can come and take on your own, I don't think, unless you're an expert pilot. 3-1. Oh, they're very good at phasing you. My Achilles heel, really. So that was only an expert ASP though,
Target destroyed.
and I did use the multi-cannons at the same time. I suppose it would be the thing to just use my lasers. A novice ASP seems to be a perfectly good target for that. So lasers only. Obviously the heat test is really in a nav beacon when you're next to the sun, because my temperature, rather than being in the 40s, would probably be high 50s, low 60s. God, a wing of 3 gunships. I mean, who's taken that on their own and living? The problem is, even if you could do it and survive, then you've got to wait 20 minutes for your shields to come up. Expert gunship then. I'll be going all out here. This time I'll try and use lasers for shields, and I will not bring the multi-cannon in until the shields are down. Unbelievable. Somebody got in the way. 2-1. Retract weapons.
Stowing weapons.
Some idiot got in the way, so that's going to end this rather abruptly. System map.
System cartography.
Okay. I thought maybe it's an anarchy site. Well, there you go. Only a couple of ships, but that gives you some kind of idea what grade 5s are like. They're okay. Heat-wise, let's give this a shot. 3-1. So I can fire the... I'm at 36 right now, so I can fire the lasers. Well, bringing the lasers out has added 2%. 40. Probably needs to go to 42, I think, doesn't it? No? Okay, well, let's call it 40 then. So there's the temperature on the lasers going up quite a bit. Up to 69, so 29% extra. So if we bring the temperature back down, I'd like it to get back to 40, but I don't know if I can wait that long. Okay, so from 43. Multi-cannon. Great. Nothing really. Okay, so nothing on the multi-cannon. So, boost. This is grade 5 dirty drives, and they're only adding 7%. So, everything together, 3-2. Just need waiting for the capacitor to fill up. I can't get a second boost in by the time. So 94, 96. No, and it's no point saying, well, put 4 pips to engines and you'll get a second boost in. But yeah, but then I can't fire the lasers for long enough. And it's the lasers that make the heat. So it is staying under 100. Okay. So just to let you know that grade 5 pulse lasers are now available at Brew Tarquin, and once the game goes live with 2.2, that is on my to-do list to upgrade all my pulses to grade 5. God knows what commodities and materials they're going to want. But yeah, okay, time to move on. Okay, so now we find ourselves in Epsilon Indi, pointing at Meteorong Hollow. Some of you will know why we're looking at this, I would imagine, but for those who don't, this is probably one of, I don't know if it's the most, but it's one of the most, I'm not going to say most, it's one of the fastest orbiting moons that there is. I don't know if it's in the game or in the whole entire game or what, but you'll see. And I've been here before, but it looks different now. And it's a good thing. Orbit lines.
Affirmative.
Just kill those for just for a second. I wish those ships had bugger off. Go on, you super cruisers, get out. Okay, that planet we're looking at there is New Africa, and that is not where we want to be. There is Meteorong Hollow, and we're just going to slow it down. And I'm just going to zoom towards it, and I'm going to stop. Orbit lines.
Affirmative.
Okay, I'm going to stay as still as I can. And you'll see it rotating, orbiting round and rotating in and of itself. So if we look at the stats here of Meteorong Hollow, we will see that it has a rotational period of 0.1 days. And its orbital period here is 0.0. So in 0.1 days it will fully rotate on its own axis, and in even less time than that it will rotate around New Africa. Here it comes. Now I can't really, what I want to focus on here is not how quick it orbits, but its rotation. It is rotating. You can see that, I hope. Spotted anything yet? Okay. Well, I'm going to go to, I think here, is it 0.4 or 0.6? The lower the better, 0.6. Well, there is a system nearby that's got a planet that rotates within 0.4 of one of our days, but I guess 0.6 is okay. Oh, by the way, hopping onto this Meteoron Hollow is easy. The moment once you approach it, you become part of its orbit, and then suddenly the big blue planet here is the one that rotates. I'll see if I can show you that. If we just get onto Meteoron's orbit path here. Oh, it's coming around, it's coming around. I'm just going to try and hook onto it. You'll know when it happens. Oh, gold. Okay, we're in it. There we go. Now we're part of Meteoron Hollow. And it's the blue planet that's rotating. When actually we're rotating with Meteoron Hollow. Yeah, it's all a little bit weird and a little bit strange. But this is circling around rather quickly. We need to leave. So let's go off to Allison World, which is the updated Alice in Wonderland theme park. Allison. Oh God. Now I'm picturing a girl called Alice in Wonderland. 7+ billion people in the world. Do you think there can be one person called Alice in Wonderland? That would be a bit cruel of the parents, wouldn't it? Mr. and Mrs. Wonderland? What should we call her? Allison. Yeah. Yeah, she can have the mickey taken out of her at school. Who cares? Alice in Wonderland. My God. That was not part of the plan for this video, but there you go. So we'll just whiz our way over to Alice in the World. It will not take this long once the speed kicks in. Once it goes from megameters to C, that time's going to come down very quickly. Now, because this planet is rotating at 0.6 days, that's just over half. It's not going to be I'm not going to be able to show this. I might just have to tell you what's going on here. Some of you will know already. Those who don't know what's going on in the 2.2 beta, I think some of you might not care, might not be bothered, but most of you I think are going to be more than pleasantly surprised and pleased, because I'm pleased about it. And I have to say, until I noticed a forum post about this, I hadn't noticed. I mean, I wasn't looking out for it. I don't know if I would have noticed at some point. Probably not. But what's happening in 2.2 beta is a good thing, and I hope it's here to stay. Orbit lines.
Affirmative.
I just want to make the place look a bit prettier. So I'm going to try and do my best here, but it might take a couple of minutes to demonstrate this. The faster the planet rotates, the better. 0.6 is the best I've got in this system. So I just want to approach this. I don't know whether we can land on this planet. I have no intention of doing so. But there's enough detail on here. Looks like a 13-year-old kid's face who eats a lot of chocolate. So if we can just get it somewhere close to a megameter, I suppose. maybe a bit less. This'll do. This'll do plenty. Oh, you can land on here, but I don't want to be here. I didn't even want to be... Yeah, I didn't even want to be this close. Not really. So let's just pop out until that scope disappears. There we go. Alright, pick something. Let's have a look. What can we pick? Okay, you see where it says on my fire group, where it says well, it used to say it. Right, where it says secondary 3, and then you've got the little blue square. To the right of that blue square is the top of the arc, the orange arc line, and it's a little horizontal dash at the top there, little horizontal line. I'm going to place that pointing to that little crater. You see that there? Just pointing to it right there. And I'm just going to sit here. And so are you. I know you're thinking, just tell us for God's sake. Yeah, I want you to notice. Now the dash is in the middle of the crater. So I mean, I don't think the human eye can pick out the fact that this planet is rotating. But you can definitely see there's movement. My ship isn't moving at all. And you can definitely make out movement there because you've got something to focus on. Now the dash is covering that crater next to that lit up blue square. Secondary 3, blue square and little orange dash. So the question is, what isn't the planet doing? Yes, I know those of you who know want me to move on, but this is really cool. So you can see now that tiny crater's kind of moved, almost moved away from my orange line. So that's proof that this planet is in fact rotating at the correct speed. But it's not stuttering anymore. It's gone. Remember those interval updates when planets orbit or rotate? Gone. Gone. It's smooth as a... yeah. Smooth as you like. There were so many times I was landed on planets when I was exploring and I could look up and see another planet in the sky, pretty close by. Particularly one I remember when I went to the Bubble Nebula. And it was orbiting around, either it was orbiting around the planet I was on or vice versa. And every 10 seconds or so, it would jump in the sky, jump to its new position, jump to its new position, jump to its new position. Well, it doesn't do it anymore. Planet rotation and planet orbit is now silky smooth. No more jumps. And I think that's brilliant. I don't know whether that was mentioned in a changelog. I didn't notice it. And it's something that I think is worth mentioning, really. It's completely smooth rotation, as you would expect it to be if you were looking at the real thing. And it makes me wonder now, how on Earth, or how on Allison World, we put up with it before. I mean, okay, it was unsightly, to see a planet in front of you, and then it would just, I don't know, jump a couple of inches across the screen as it updated to its new position, as it got the new position from the server. But now, see that little crater is underneath the 3 now on secondary 3. Have you seen any jerking, any stutter, anything? Nothing. Absolutely smooth. And the reason I wanted to get a planet with a smaller orbital period, obviously, is because the planet would then be rotating quicker. But I can assure you, I've seen it already, and it's extremely smooth. Meteoron Hollow is a quick rotating planet, but because it's quickly orbiting as well, you can't really appreciate it. So this is an update I think is fantastic. So no more jerky planets. Right, I'm going to land now because I want to just discuss something.
Cannot comply.
Yeah, well,
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I want to land by those what looks like red veins, but I am way over that. I'm going to bring it in here. I don't need to land, but I just want to land.
Flight engaged.
Ooh. Oh, this looks pretty cool. I'm kind of curious now with every planet surface, although they're all barren, and yeah, you know, that's probably how it is in the real galaxy. Most planets are going to be barren. It's the way it is. But the detail that's been added makes me curious to see what it's like now. Because certainly the procedural texture iterations have been made even smaller now. Might not look it looks blurry at the moment, but once we get in, it will sharpen up. Only if I can land. You see that flat plateau there by the 30-degree marker? Let's see if I can get myself on there. I don't have an SRV or anything. I just want to stop the ship. Stop the ship. I want to get off. Deploy landing gear.
Lowering landing gear.
So let's bring it down to underneath 150, and then it'll tell us if we can land or not, and it's unsuitable terrain. Ooh, we got some blues here. Let's go back. This looks very smooth around here. There we go, we got a big parking space here. Anybody see any no parking signs? I don't think so. Sorry, my brain's crazy. These red veins that I saw from up above, if they were yellow, I would have made a joke about parking on a yellow line. But they're not, so anyway, down we go. So why are we here? Well, because I want to have a little chat about something that's going on with the beta, and something I've got involved in on the forums. I've made a couple of posts, so let's just have a beauty shot while we're doing it. Look at that piece of rock I landed next to. I could be sitting on that. Right, the subject is the system map. Now, I really can't bring the system map up here. I suppose some of you, maybe, I don't know, most of you may have seen. This is the system map that we're used to seeing. So if you go into unexplored system, the chances are you're going to see these grey interconnecting lines looking like something should be hanging off them, but you can't tell because you need to do a scan on the system. And if you do an advanced scan, everything pops up and it looks like this. So what we have is the stars, and now we've got the planets and the moons and stuff, and their thumbnail pictures, so we can tell what they are, Earth-like, stuff like that, rocky body. And then on these we can just zoom in and we have the properly rendered. Now this is how it's been in beta 6 and further back since they implemented surface renders. And I don't recall many people complaining about that, and everybody seemed to be happy with it. For the explorers out there who say, oh, I don't want to know what the surface looks like, I want to find out for myself. Fine. Then don't go into the surface map. It's an option. You don't have to do this. I mean, you can already pretty much tell, but if you want that grind, if you want to go into the planet, then you don't have to go in here. No one's forcing you to click this button. So, what happened? Well, beta 7 happened, and a bug came along, which introduced, as a bug, black spheres, just outlines of planets, which looked like the previous wireframe surface drawings, only without the wireframes. It was just an outline and black. So you couldn't tell whether it was an Earth-like, whether it was a gas giant, a rocky, an icy. Didn't know. If you came along and did your advanced, and also in the what Frontier have done, not as a bug, in systems where you hadn't done a scan, returned this. Sorry, I have to get this right. If you came in and did an advanced surface scan, and it may come up on the screen and say 24 astronomical bodies found or whatever, and then you go into the system map and you see the astronomical bodies here. And what they did was, if you don't do that ADS, the advanced discovery scan, if you don't do that, you get black spheres. So you know where all the planets are and how many there are, but you don't know what type they are. Which I don't like that. I like to know. I like to know by the thumbnails, so I can decide whether I want to go there or not. You know, I don't want the whole thing to be a Scooby-Doo mystery tour. But if you, as they say, honked the ADS, it would fill in all these thumbnails, but your surface map would be a wireframe. The only way you could get this filled in is to go to the planet and use your discovery scanner on it. That's how Frontier changed it. The black spheres were a bug, so I think the thumbnails were always meant to be there. And Frontier said that they were going to fix that. They're going to fix it back to as it was in 2.1 beta 6. To this day, they have not patched that, and I think because of the storm this has kicked up, I think they should have patched it back already. And I don't know why they haven't done so. This is just a quick update, beta 7.1 or something, just to quickly patch this so that people know where we really stand. So there's been all sorts of suggestions floating around. I've made a couple. I'm going to discuss one of them with you and see what you think. And basically, some people want the black spheres now. Now that they've seen them, they've decided that's what they want. They didn't know they wanted that until they saw it, but now that's suddenly what they want. Some people want that long grind. They want that mystery. They want to have to go and visit every black sphere to see if it's an Earth-like world. But I'll tell you this: when you've been out into deep space and you're coming across your 26th system in a row that contains a T-Tauri star and icy bodies, it's the last thing you want. I mean, you pretty much know if you've got a T-Tauri star, the rest are going to be icy bodies anyway, pretty much. So you just move on. But it's too much of a grind. Now, I said in the forum that if there was more planetary diversity, if there was more surface variation than there is now, which Frontier, I believe, have said that they can't do that right now. They're not capable of doing that right now. Then maybe there would be a case to be had for blacking out the planets, because then each one could really be different than another one. But we do get a lot of very similar looking planets, and I don't want to have to travel, say, 78, 100,000 light seconds, taking 10, 15 minutes, whatever it does, just to do a discovery scan in order to reveal what the surface looks like, only to find it's another boring beige. Do you know what I mean? But the main point of this thing about the detailed surface scan is, if you see this as a wireframe and you have to fly towards that planet until you're within scan range for your DSS to kick in to scan the surface to make this appear. Well, how is this now a surprise? You're pretty much already there anyway. You can probably, in some cases, you just spend another 10 seconds and you're on top of the planet anyway, and you can see it for yourself. You don't need this now. So some people want it as it was in Beta 6. I'm one of those people. I think the basic scanner should do what it does. Everything as it was in Beta 6. You come in, you maybe see the local star, maybe another star or two, and any of the planets you don't see because you have to honk the ADS. You honk the ADS, you get the thumbnails, and you get the planetary renders. There's no point not revealing this until you do a detailed surface scan, because you're already pretty much there. So revealing, I'll tell you what it's like. It's like me going to visit the Taj Mahal, and when I get there, you give me a photo of it. Pointless. I'm there now. I don't need the photo. You should have shown it to me before. So people were saying, oh, well, maybe we should change how the scanners work. So now we've got this little bunch of wannabe developers. I don't mean to, no disrespect here at all, because everyone has a different opinion, and everyone's opinion is as valid as anybody else's. I'm not saying they're as sensible, but they have as much right to their opinion as anybody else does of theirs, and I do of mine. So I'm not scrutinizing that, but some of it is impossible to please everybody, and Frontier are not going to manage that, so they shouldn't even try. Maybe they should just ignore the entire thread and just do it the way they were going to do it from the start, and just say, this is what you're getting. Anyway, I came up with an idea, and I want to know what you guys think, and then I can wrap this video up. This is such I think we're on page 40, it's 40 plus pages now, this topic. And yeah, I saw Obsidian Ant's recent video about this, and I did already make a couple of comments in some different threads about this, but now I've kind of put a couple of suggestions across. But my most recent one, which I posted today, I don't know if it's. I want to see what you guys think. If you think this is workable, obviously you're going to have your own ideas, but at the beginning, when I heard about people talking about, oh, we should just change the way the scanners work, I'm thinking, oh my God, just leave it alone, will you? This we've had these scanners in play like this since day one, and everybody's managed. We've all managed. We've all been out exploring. Blah blah blah. Some people have already said in separate topics that maybe exploration should be, oh God, should be a bit more profitable, maybe, or whatever. Or, there should be more motivation for going. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, the discovery itself is motivation, but yeah, some added diversity and variation of planets and phenomena, maybe. Like, we've got these geysers now, but once you've seen a few of those. So, this is my thoughts on this subject. So I'm going to read out the post that I made, and I'll put a link to it in the video description. So I said, okay, so as there are 1,000,001 different views, and also the impossibility of keeping everybody happy, it seems to me that the solution is all in the scanners. So I kind of capitulated there and decided that maybe the scanners is the answer here, but only to try. I don't mean, well, yeah, I do mean the way they work, but only to try and please as many people as possible without annoying other people. So my solution, and I'm open to suggestions and tweaks, and I'm not saying that Frontier are going to even look at this post. Why mine post is no more out there or as important as anybody else's, and my post was number 633, so good luck to them finding it. But anyway, firstly, you've got your three scanners: your basic scanner, your intermediate scanner, and your advanced scanner. The difference right now is the basic scanner has a very small range. I can't remember what it is, 10,000 light years or something, I don't know. The intermediate scanner has got a wider range. It will scan more, and then as you venture out into space, you can honk it again and you might get some new stuff. And then you've got the advanced scanner, which scans the entire system. It's system-wide. The thing with that is, once you've got money in the bank, you're pretty much going to be taking the advanced scanner every time, right? I haven't used an intermediate scanner since I didn't have money for an advanced one. The moment I had money to buy the advanced at 1.4 million or whatever it is, I've got every ship that has a scanner is an advanced one. If the ones that I don't have an advanced scanner on, I may have a basic scanner if I've got nothing else to put in that slot. Otherwise, it's cargo or a something else. I either want a scanner on the ship or I don't. The basic one, the intermediate, I don't use. So, here we go. First thing is to make all scanners be able to scan the entire system. No range limits on the basic, the intermediate, well, the advanced doesn't anyway. No range limits on all scanners, okay? bear with me. Now, number one, honking the basic scanner will show all the stars, but the planets are blacked out circles like the Beta 7 bug. Okay? And that means if you want to get the thumbnails, you'll have to use your planetary discovery scanner, I suppose. Intermediate scanner will show all stars, but planets only as their small thumbnails, like I've just shown you, which is good for identifying planet types. The surface view is the wireframe that we got before. The advanced scanner shows all the stars, all the thumbnails, and the full surface renders. Okay, so basically, just to run over that, the basic scanner shows all the stars, the planets are blacked out circles, and the surface view is a wireframe. Intermediate shows all the stars, but gives you now the planet thumbnails, and the surface view is still a wireframe. The advanced scanner shows all the stars, all the thumbnails, and the full surface render. That way, oh yeah, of course, with the intermediate scanner, you've got all the thumbnails and everything and the whole system there in front of you, and the surface view is a wireframe. You turn that into a rendered view by doing a detailed surface scan. With the basic scanner, you've got blacked out planets which you have to go to, and then once your scan kicks in, as you get closer, you'll get the thumbnail and the rendered view. The advanced scanner does it all for you. So there's 3 different levels there which correlate, is that the right word? Correlate to 3 different levels of play. That way, you buy the scanner that you want depending on your style of play. Now you can make it as much or as little of a grind as you want without annoying other people who don't play your way. And by annoying, I mean if Frontier goes with your way of doing it, they're going to pee off somebody else who doesn't want to do it that way. So, and of course, if you purchase the advanced scanner that does it for you, that helps those people who've got less time on their hands and don't want to do that long grindy way. Prices for the scanners stay the same because they're all the intermediate is better than the basic and the advanced is better than the intermediate. Detailed surface scan works as normal because it provides extra details about the makeup of the rings, the materials to be found on that planet, and so on and so on. Nav beacons work as normal. You go in, you scan the nav beacon, it fills it in for you. Why? Because that's the way it works now, and I'm fine with it. But once you get outside the bubble and you go exploring properly, you don't get nav beacons anymore. But while you're in the bubble, there's no reason why I think they shouldn't work as they already do. Once you're outside the bubble, you're exploring. If you want the grind, if you want to have to go and visit every single planet, blah, 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 then you buy the basic scanner because that's the one that will match your style of play. If you want to see thumbnails, but you think, no, I want to visit the planet to see the full surface, then you buy the intermediate. But if you want the thumbnails and the surface renders before you decide which planets you're going to go and visit, that will be me, then you buy the advanced scanner. And that way you've got 3 different scanners to match 3 different styles of play. Surely everybody's happy, right? Well, they won't be. So yeah, like I said, I in the forum, I wish they hadn't created that bug in Beta 7 because it's given people something they want and they didn't know they wanted it. Of course, changing these scanners so that they all scan the entire system and there's no more range limits, will probably mean slightly better exploration credits while using the basic and intermediate scanners. But that'll please other people because it'll be a little few extra 100 credits here and there for every planet that gets discovered. So there's no downside there, really, is there? That's my thoughts. I will leave that with you. Sorry if I've whittled on about it too long, but God, there's so much talk about it. I'd be quite happy for none of my post to be looked at, and for it just to return to the way it was in Beta 6. It was fine. You come here, you see the way it's always worked, right? Well, not always, but the way it's been working for the last few weeks. You come in to an unexplored system. You may have only the local star and nothing else, and then you honk your ADS and everything appears in thumbnail, and you click on here and you go to there and you see this, and then I can look at this and say, this looks an interesting planet. I think I'll go and visit that one. I would rather do that than go 801,000 light seconds to, look at a planet to see A, if it's landable, B, is it interesting? And if you can't land, you're looking at what? Your 563rd icy body? That's going to get boring and tedious very quickly. And I'll say this. I planned to do my Sagittarius A run mid-November. If they do implement the black spheres, which I hope they don't because they have said it was a bug and that they would put it back, and if they do make this wireframe until detailed surface scanned, which makes no sense to me, but if people want it, makes no sense to me to scan something when you're there, when you arrive at it. It makes no sense for this to be shown to you once you've pretty much arrived at it. If they do that, I'm seriously going to rethink going to Sagittarius A at all, because exploration will just be too tedious and too monotonous, and I just won't be bothered. I'll leave you with it. This is Rusty Dog. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the smooth rotating planets and grade 5 pulse lasers. Bye bye.